Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 4 of 5 days to focus. And as always, I sent out a workbook. So hope you printed it up so that we can follow along together because I will be following along with mine. I'm working with you. So yesterday we had some homework. I hope you were able to get to it. I know this is a little bit quick. Um, but the homework was about repeating thoughts. Um, and the intention was for you to identify maybe one or two repeating thoughts that maybe no longer serve you, and then to create a positive response, right? Not every action, but a positive response to one of the scenarios. So if you would imagine, you look back, oh, so today, the day went pretty well, but this happened. Okay, so well, if I take that, I could have managed it or responded to it this way and just kind of write it out and think about it and write out maybe another way to respond. And here is what the intention of the purpose of that it is so that you create the habit of shifting from a negative state and a negative emotional state to a more hopeful or more positive emotional state so that you're then able to respond with the best possible action, right? And therefore have the best possible outcome. So it's not to press it down, it's to how do you respond to it so that you actually have amazing results, right? So part of managing your emotional state is learning how to best manage your physical state as well. So we're now talking about today, let's get physical, your physical state. So, we're an integrated being, mind, body, and soul. And fixing one does influence the other, right? But we want to be aware of all of us and tune this body as well as this mind in order to receive and in order to manage our focus the best way that we can. So, are you ready to let's get physical? So, let's move on. Good health brings energy to those things, or to do those things, I should say, that you want to do. So, good health brings energy to do the things you want to do. So, if you're it's a given. If your health isn't at its peak or the best that it can be, then you obviously are not physically able to do the things that you want to do. And this may have an impact on your attitude and on your emotional state, which will bring in those little voices, which will cloud your mind, which will not allow the best 750 bits of information that you can take in to be the best, right? So we're all about clearing the mind so that we can focus and make decisions the best way that we can. Okay, so let's get going. So if your blood sugar is low, you're far more likely to succumb to destructive impulses. Sugary foods spike your sugar levels quickly and then leave you drained and vulnerable to impulsive behavior shortly after. So think about that for a minute. So sugar spikes. I'll give you a little story about me with sugar spikes. I've been on healthier eating probably for the last 15, 20 years, 20 years. And every year I change it up and add something else to improve the intake of what's going on with this body of mine. And at one point, I was having serious spikes in the middle of the day, like around 1, 2 o'clock, and then by 2:30, crash. I mean, I was pushing myself through work. I was exhausted. All right, and it was, I didn't even want to talk to people. I just wanted to curl up. So I had a conversation with my brilliant daughter, who said, "So, Mom, so what are you doing?" So we talked about the food that I was eating, and one of the things I was doing was healthy snacks, right? So, and the healthy snacks included carrots in the morning. And she said, Mom, why don't you just stop the carrots and see what happens? Because you're just putting sugar in your body. And sure enough, smart woman, I stopped the carrots and the spikes stopped, the crashes stopped, and I was able to have a more consistent day, if you will. And so it's all about consistency, right? We don't want the highs and the lows. We want to be consistent. So be careful if you're feeling spikes of energy and then those crashes, right? Definitely be careful about what it is that you're eating and maybe start experimenting with taking things out and then adding things back in. Okay. Eating something that provides a slow burn for your body, such as whole grain rice or meat, will give you a longer window of self-control. And I do know, let's change meat to protein for those of you who are vegetarians, right? But we're actually looking for the slow burn, right? And especially first thing in the morning, when you break your fast, and whenever that is, whether it's when you first get up in the morning or if it's 3 hours later, it's still breakfast because you're breaking your evening fast, right? So whenever you're having that first initial meal, make sure that you're taking something in that's going to nourish your body and burn slowly to keep you going throughout the day. I was working with a trainer and we were working on my nutrition while I was working out to be sure I was feeding the muscles that I was building. And one of the things that was happening is that I was, actually hungry, by lunchtime. And so, he did say definitely get those grains in the morning, right? You need to get something that's going to hold you a little bit more than what it is that you're eating. So, work with the nutritionist, see what it is that you're eating, listen to their suggestions and try a few things, okay? When you lose sleep, it's harder to focus and slows your reaction time, making it dangerous to drive and other safety related risks at work and at home. So this is really important that you know what the right amount of sleep is for your body and that you allow yourself that sleep. So for example, the average is 8 hours a day. And guys, as if you know averages and the curve, right? There are those who need 4 and those who need 10 hours of sleep, right? And so it's an average. It's not everyone has to have 8 hours of sleep, but know when your body is functioning well, right? And that you're going through the day and you're not pushing it, then you are probably getting enough sleep. So take notice. Or if you are pushing it. Now, my particular sleep cycle used to be 4 hours. I've now got it at 6 hours. I don't have an alarm wake me up. I wake up when I wake up. And so what that means is I might wake up at 2 in the morning, but not be awake. I just came out of a dream state a little bit early and I can roll over and go right back to sleep. But sometimes when I wake up, I am awake. And so for the most part, I'm now from 4 to 6 hours and I'm rested and refreshed, get up and I'm ready for the day. I am also a napper. I'm the type of person, no matter what, I burn my energy fast and furious. So I need a power nap. And I do allow myself to take 15 or 20 minutes of downtime. And I may sleep for that time. I may just relax, but it is my power time in the middle of the day to kind of regenerate. So know your body cycle and allow the rest that your body needs, okay? So sleep feeds creativity, synthesizes new ideas, and leads you to aha moments. A good sleep feeds our high level innovative thinking and problem solving abilities, right? And so the ability to sleep and dream allows you to solve problems, right? And it feeds the brain so that you can think out of the box, whatever that means. And I'm going to give you a little dream trick, a little sleep trick. So we've talked a little bit about your mind and how that works in your conscious mind versus subconscious mind. And when you sleep, your conscious mind checks out and your subconscious mind continues. It never shuts up 24/7. And it dreams and it does whatever it wants to do, right? Based on the input of the day. You can direct your subconscious mind to work and literally consciously say, I'm going to sleep now. And so subconscious mind, you can even name it if you want, give that part of you a name, call it Gary, right? Or George. I call mine George sometimes, right? Tonight you're going to work. So no playtime, no recess for you. I have this question and I'm looking for the answer. And the question can be just about anything. And then go to sleep knowing that you just gave your subconscious a directive, right? And if you give your subconscious a directive, it's going to do it, right? And when you get up in the morning, you may have a flash of the idea. You might remember the dream, or you might say, well, nothing happened. And then during the day, you go, aha, right. And there it is, right? It just depends on how it unfolds to you, but the answer will come to you. It's very, very interesting how that works. Okay. So sleep. And of course, getting your body moving for as little as 10 minutes in a day releases GABA, gamma aminobutyric, which I can't even say, acid. Look it up, guys. It's a neurotransmitter that makes your brain feel soothed and keeps you in control of your impulses. What that does, it actually interrupts the impulses from passing back and forth so that your brain has a chance to calm down, right? So just a little exercise, movement, right? You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to, hurt your body, right? You should, right? Maybe do some yoga, but just moving, when I'm not at the gym, I at least walk, even if it's just up and down the stairs. Those of you who are in weather, it's like, I can't go out, the weather's terrible. There was a time where I worked at this organization and I was going through, working at being sure I was as healthy as possible. And the weather was frequently pretty bad. But you see, there were 3 floors. So I could take the stairs and walk down to the basement or the bottom floor, walk around the circumference, then walk all the way back up, walk the circumference, walk to the next floor, walk the circumference, walk to the next, right? So I could walk for 10 minutes up and down, just in my house, right? 3 stories here, right? Going from my office, which is here, down to the first floor where there's, snacks and whatever, down to the basement where there's other things and I'm always up and down the stairs. And it's just kind of funny. 10 minutes in a day is all that you need to get your brain calmed down so you can focus, right? Walk it off, right? If you're feeling stress, tension, anger, right? Any emotions getting in the way of you clear thinking and getting in the way of your focus on solutions, right? If your focus is on the problem, you are not in control. So you're not focusing on the solution, then go for a walk it off, right? And, if you want to go outside and, complain as you're walking, just get it out, fine, if that's what you need to do. But definitely when you get the blood going, you clear the head. Okay, walk it off. Love walking, right? Meditation actually trains your brain to become a self-contained self-control machine. Again, meditation actually trains your brain to become a self-control machine. And here's why. Meditation is about focus. If it's guided meditation, you're focused on the words. If it's silent meditation, you're focused on breathing, or you're focused on a sound, right? But it's training you to focus, right? And if you can focus, you start to gain control, right? How awesome would your life be if you were a self-control machine? Think about that, right? Self-control machine. Badass, right? So 5 minutes a day to focus on nothing more than your breathing and your senses improves your self-awareness and your brain's ability to resist destructive impulses, right? So meditation, or so 5 minutes a day to focus on nothing more than your breathing and your senses improves your self-awareness and your brain's ability to resist destructive impulses, right? And we've already done the sleep feeds. I'm sorry, that's a repeat. So what does this mean, right? You thought this was going to be all about exercising and jumping up and down, and there's a little bit of that, but it really is about doing things for your body. One of my most recent routines, thanks to a nutritionist that I'm working with, is being sure that I pay attention to all 5 of my senses, and literally drops for my eyes to make sure that they're moist and clear, drops for my sinuses to be sure that they don't dry up, drops for my ears, again, for the same reason, so that they stay clear, how to clean my mouth first thing in the morning so that it is clear, routines for my body so that it is stimulated and clear. Food that I take is the right food for this time of year and for the processing of my body. All of my senses, including a little bit of exercise, right, and a little bit of meditation. All senses, right? So doing that makes me be aware of things that I totally forgot about, right? It totally slipped my mind about caring for some of these things. You know, I no longer just go through the routine of getting up, getting dressed, and getting things done during the day. I actually am focusing on, oh, right, I have to do the eye drops. All right, so let me go and, well, while I'm doing the eye drops and I'm, moisturizing my eyes, I did the nose. Okay, should probably do the ears too, right? At least once a day. In fact, just once a day, right? A little bit of time just to be sure that I am aware of this amazing vessel that we call a body, that is in tuned so that I am an aware creature and one with free choice, able to think and create stories and ideas. And the more optimal I am, the better results I will have. And I want you to have the best results possible, right? That's what this is all about. That's what focus is all about, right? It's not work, guys. This is not hard stuff that I'm telling you to do. And this is what successful people do every day. This is from the list of habits of successful people. These 5 days are habits that will increase your ability to at least focus on what it is that you want to do. Maybe even for the first time, know what it is that you want to do with conviction, and know what it is that you want to do with the belief that you can do it. Know what you want to do with the knowledge that you deserve it, and then with the clarity and the focus to every day take a step closer and closer and closer to what it is that you want to achieve with optimal emotional intelligence along the way. So tonight's homework, one last time, right? So homework says do something different. Of all the things covered, find one that you can do differently each day. Something you're not doing now. If you're having trouble resisting the impulse to walk over to the office door or something else, right? To let somebody have it, just keep on walking. What that means is someone pisses you off and you're ready to walk out, and let them have it. I know I used to be I say, go for the jugular person. Just, keep on walking by them and walk it off until you can calmly look at the situation from their perspective as well as yours. Notice that it takes just a few minutes for that impulse that you had to pass, right? So it's not about suppressing. It's about being emotionally intelligent and the ability to respond in the best way possible to the outcome and the situation that you're in. It's about focusing on solutions, not on the story. Focus on solutions, right? That are not knee-jerk, right? This happened, so from now on, we're going to do this. No, it's like this happened. So obviously, there needs to be a change. What can I do differently? What can I do differently? Right? No blame. There's no gain if there's blame of yourself or of others. Everybody, one more to go and we will have finished 5 days to focus. We'll see you later, and those that are in my private Facebook group will get this downloaded. Talk to you later. One more day. Bye-bye, everybody.